My husband is infuriated by my schedule because I can't cook him dinner.
Well, that doesn't seem fair to me.
Trigger warning, verbal abuse. I feel too old for this sub, but it's cheaper than a therapist. So here it goes. I'm also incredibly upset and frustrated right now, and I'd like some feedback about what has been a going on issue with my marriage with an otherwise very reasonable man. We've been married for 9, together for 14. By the way, this comes from Fed Up Won't Feed Us, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm a high school teacher, as well as a professor in the same subject at a local community college. This means 2 days a week after school ends at 1 p.m., I drive an hour to the community college and have classes and office hours. My husband works a government job that allows him to work midnight shifts. While it's hard on him, this is always allows him to pick up our daughter at school and look after our toddler. Combined with the commute, as I hit traffic, I get home from my second job around 7 p.m. I'm exhausted from the day and still have lots of grading to do from all the classes I teach. I'd also like to turn in at a reasonable hour, as I'm usually up at 4:45 getting ready for school that starts at 7 a.m. When I'm busy and tired like this, I ask my husband to make dinner that night, usually the night before, though I don't ask as much anymore. He always refuses because he says he hates cooking and that if I manage my time better, I could cook for us and grade. I get upset because I feel he's being selfish and not respecting the hard work I do. And he gets upset because I'm not doing what he wants. He's bred a lot of resentment ever since I got the job at the college last year. The thing is, I don't expect him to be Julia Child. He can cook something quick and easy if he doesn't like it. I mean, come on. It's a necessary life skill. I also don't mean to devalue his working midnight shifts, as it's a sacrifice I appreciate very much from him, but he's around the house all day. Why can't he cook? If I do cook, I end up very behind on work, as well as agitated, when I absolutely can't be behind. We end up ordering takeout, as usual, on these nights, which I dislike because I want our kids eating as healthy as possible. I also don't like them eating so late, especially as our toddler's normal bedtime is 7. He should be going to bed, not eating dinner. Aside from my son's sleep schedule, which has begun impacting the speed at which I'm able to return assignments to students, it's also a big deal. I'm totally willing to cook when I don't have to teach at the community college, so it's not as if I never cook or if I'm not pulling my weight. I also bring home food fast from work, I suppose, but I really want McDonald's and junk like that just to be a treat for my kids, not a staple of their diets. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was tonight. Today is the day I teach, and traffic was bad tonight due to the accidents. I got home at around 7:45 instead of 7. Dinner still hasn't been made, and the kids were starving. He's always said when we fought about this that he wouldn't let them not eat past 7:30 if I was late, which was why I didn't think to stop on the way home, but I guess I was wrong. I even texted him, traffic was out of stop. Please feed the kids. I won't be home for a while. This was the whole reason we kept boxed mac and cheese in the house for emergencies. I was furious he hadn't fed him. He got angry at me and told me that since he's the breadwinner, he gets to dictate who cooks and when. I'm so angry that he'd use his earning status against me. And it's not like my salaries are just pennies, by the way. He makes a lot more than me. The children did get fed, but I am so frustrated and don't want to speak to him right now. I feel like he's being incredibly selfish and unreasonable. We got an edit. While I really I do appreciate your solutions to the cooking part of this problem, my problem does go deeper than that. I feel disrespected and I have a problem with his attitude. Advice on how to communicate with him better would be appreciated, as well as advice regarding the actual cooking issue. Update. First of all, I guess I should probably go more into detail about some common misconceptions from my last post. I would really rather not quit my second job because once I complete this semester, it's extremely likely I'll be offered a full-time position at the community college for more money and less hours than my job at the high school. Okay, so we have a game plan here.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, I don't know, this is on the husband. If he's there during the day, all he needs to do is like make sure the kids get fed and just stick it up. Like if you hate cooking and it's that big of a problem, just like get a game plan here. So then you know how to communicate. Oh my God, communicate. My husband will also be able to work from the day shift most days as we'd be home with our son. This is a temporary but very difficult situation that will, I think, end up being for the best. Second of all, in order to accommodate my husband as much as possible in the sacrifice he's making working midnight shifts, I do all of the chores. On his days off, I do 99.9% of the childcare. The 0.1% is picking up our daughter school on Fridays, as our son sees his OT/speech therapist that day, and 100% of the housework. He has openly said that when he is home with our son, he usually keeps him in his playpen most of the time so we can sleep or play Xbox and that stupid online capture the flag game. So I really don't appreciate people making up complete bogus schedules and posting them to be like, gotcha, you're a witch. Things took a terrible turn yesterday. I decided that using a lot of the advice I got here, I'd make extra for dinner the night before, easily prepared meals like sandwiches Tuesdays and Thursdays. It'd still require him microwaving or assembling together some bread and sandwich material, since I was going to insist on our son going to bed at his normal time before 7. But no reasonable person would object to that, right? Wrong. I had the conversation with him. At first he seemed receptive as I stayed calm and told him how much I appreciate the fact that he works nights, but that I don't want the kids eating so late and I really need him to help me out here. He said okay and asked what do I had in mind. As soon as I told him that he was going to have to microwave food or throw together sandwiches or a salad, he totally changed. He began throwing a tantrum to rival our 2-year-old, yelling and stomping and beating the countertops. I've never ever seen him like this. I could barely even tell what he was saying. I did hear things like, that should be your job, and lazy witch, and then I never wanted kids. You forced me into this.
Whoa.
That was certainly news to me. Whenever we first got engaged, I talked him down from his original desired 4 kids to 2. And just 6 months ago, we fought again because he wanted the 3rd kid and I don't. When I asked him to please calm down so we could have an actual productive conversation, he threw his adult soda bottle and stormed out of the house. This was even before I got to the part about us needing to go to counseling or the issues surrounding his respect for me. He still hasn't come home and I have no idea where he is. He won't answer his phone. Even though I'm absolutely furious with him, I'm also very worried. So I guess my main question is, how do I deal with possibly being left by my husband because he didn't want to microwave some leftovers for 90 seconds? I'm way too embarrassed to tell my friends or family this yet. We got an update. Hi to all of you, and thanks for shaking some sense into me. Someone said this was a police matter, and I decided to make it one. I just got back from filing a report with the police, telling them that my husband had thrown a bottle and abandoned the family, leaving me unable to reach him. They are very nice and good about everything, to my own surprise. I'm going to see a lawyer first thing tomorrow morning when it opens, and we'll talk to the legality of changing my locks, divorce, and primary custody. I also left a final voicemail on my husband's phone telling him all of this. And we can tell you more stories on your favorite freaking podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and you can hear all the amazing things this world of Reddit has to offer. Woohoo! On a less important note, I also acquired a sitter. One of the secretaries at the high school I'm acquaintances with had her daughter come in to take a break from college this semester after doing badly last fall. And I arranged it within the past hour, and now she'll babysit for me, though I do intend on taking tomorrow off, at least from work. Thanks for everyone for your help and concern. Edit, in light of some new legal information I've Googled and found out from here, we are going to a hotel around 40 minutes away for now instead of staying at the house. If I'm unable to change the locks, I will probably end up renting a place via Craigslist or somewhere in order to give the kids a more stable home.
Wow.
Dang. There we go.
Yeah, because at first I was like, okay, maybe this is the kind of thing where it's like she like wants to stay. She just like doesn't understand why he's being like this and like not doing his part. How can we do this without just going straight to divorce? And then I started thinking of like petty things she could do, like only making food for the kids and like really not making any food for him at all.
I saw earlier that he needs to take an MRI because sometimes brain tumors happen and people will just go off the rocker.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but then he like started throwing things and hitting things. And then I was like, okay, well, if he's doing that from just this, you can't really mess with him more because it could be dangerous.
Dude, that is so
good.
crazy.
She did the right thing. But
she did.
Yeah, I wonder if it's some sort of like genuine mental thing that obviously, you know, still doesn't have to put up with, but it could explain things.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if it was like really some things she did say was out of nowhere, but a lot of the stuff of like taking care of the kids seemed like that's kind of how it has been.
Yeah.
Their whole lives, which isn't very many years, but still enough. I think my husband is cheating on me. There's something fishy about his coworker.
And we're not at a fish market.
My husband, 42 male and I, 40 female, have been together for 5 years now. Everything is great overall. We complement each other nicely. I'm the social butterfly. He's more introverted. The thing is, I'm wary of one of his coworkers. I'm not the jealous type, but I don't know why. There is something that bothers me. By the way, this comes from Smoochie, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I have access to his phone, and I don't know why, but one day I checked her messages. There was nothing much. They don't speak every day and mostly about work-related things. But one message got my attention. She was asking what he thought about her, and he said that she would always be beautiful to him. I was uneasy. Tried to find something else, but I didn't. I let it go, as I too am sometimes very familiar with my coworkers. Now, a few days ago, I decided to check again, and I'm crushed by what I saw. She asked what is his taste for something random. He just answered, you. What do you think I should do? He was allegedly cheated on by his ex and was making a big deal about being faithful. Now, I'm second guessing everything he told me. I don't know if I need to keep digging or just confront him. We have kids, live together, and I thought we were happy. I cannot believe what's happening right now. I guess it happens a lot, especially at work. But dang, it hurt. Update. So, being the transparent self that I am, I couldn't hold it back, so I confronted him yesterday morning. First, he was so confused and kept saying, What? So I asked him to be honest, but he kept being oblivious. I proceeded to ask him if he was thinking that that was okay to ask a coworker, showing him the pic of the conversation with the you thing. Mind you, I also found a message a bit later saying, jokes aside, when are we getting together? Note, together as a couple. The coworker just said this was so random as the previous message was, okay, just put a meeting whenever, blah, blah, blah. I was already finding the previous messages hurtful, but this one is out of the world. In what universe would you say that to someone else other than your partner? So we talked a lot. Like 3 hours the first time, then again for 1 hour, and more in the evening, basically the whole day. He repeated a huge amount of times that there was nothing going on physically or mentally and that he wasn't interested in her at all. That he loves me and only me. He said the first message telling her that she's beautiful is because she has self-esteem problems and is often down. So as his favorite coworker, there are only 3. I know the other one is a jackbutt and his boss. He just was trying to make her feel better. He also added later that it's his first coworker of his age. Before, he was only working with older people. So it was new and fun to have someone similar, but that as he's a bit awkward with social interactions, he understood that he messed up. I mean, I let that one go anyway, so moving on. Second message, he said that it was a joke. Sometimes he says something like this to pick on her and see the reaction. Now for him, it was okay because there were no intentions underneath whatsoever. And that she knows it's a joke because she laughs every time. They also joke a lot at the office with everybody and anybody. So for him, it was just the continuation of that. As far as I'm concerned, joking at the office is okay. I do the same, but it's different when it's in private messages with just 2 people. He also said that I'm missing context because they mainly text before and after the days that they are at the office, which is 2 days a week. And that might be a reference to something that they said earlier. They don't text every day. Sometimes not even once in a week. That's true, or it has been deleted, but this would be a tedious work. So that's how he explained the when will we be together thing. He says that he doesn't even remember it, but he guesses something related was told during the day, and that's why it came so randomly in the conversation. He promised me that this would never happen again and that he wouldn't speak to the coworker other than for work, and that I was all that mattered. He also texted her, although I didn't want to clarify that there was nothing on his side and that it was jokes. Of course, she replied that she knew it was jokes and she's very happy with her husband and I don't need to be worried. I don't like the way she answered though. She was really dismissive, like it's not a big deal and there's no need to think about breaking up or anything. Even if she understood, it could have been taken the wrong way. I don't have a good feeling about her as a person. I don't know why. I don't care about her. I'm hurt by my husband. But the fact that it's only them 2 in the conversation and none of them realize it's inappropriate is BS to me. I brought up his previous relationship and questioned the person who cheated. He looked legit hurt and proposed that I call the ex to check who cheated on who. I believe now there was no actual cheating involved. He's always home. They do work at noon. But I'm still on the fence. He says there are no grounds in what he said and that he doesn't have bad intentions when messaging those things. He says that he's not interested in a woman who isn't vegan, because we are, and that he wouldn't plan big things with me, etc. Like we have a huge trip coming up, or work on making the relationship evolve even more if he was interested in someone else. He says that he realizes now that he effed up. Although I believe there was no actual cheating, I still don't think what happened is okay. I think it's rude to me and inappropriate on so many levels. I feel betrayed because those things should not be said to anyone but me. that makes sense. At first, he wouldn't understand what I was saying and always brought it back to the cheating part. After so many "you don't understand," I think he got it because he explained it again to me with his own words what I was trying to say to him. He promised again that it would not happen again in the future. I asked him what if I said that to a coworker, and he agreed that he wouldn't have appreciated it. I said that I was still hurt. He acknowledged that and realized it was wrong, but he said that he couldn't change the past and could only work to make me forgive him if I let him. I underlined the fact that having been cheated on before, he should have been even more aware of what this could cause, and he agreed.
He's just agreeing to get out of this conversation.
Possible.
He's saying whatever he can to get out of this conversation.
Yeah.
He's flirting with another woman more than once.
Yeah. Is he honest or am I just blindsided? What do you think of this? How do I get past this? We slept apart and I asked for a day to myself so I can think. But strangers' input is valuable to me. Thank you for your support and previous answers already. And we do have a second update.
Oh.
Good and not so good ahead. All right. So I took some time to myself those past 2 days with no contact with him to think about it. Yesterday, we talked it all out again with most of your points. I told him that whether he realizes it or not, it was flirting. He was caught, and for me, it was a form of cheating. He insisted that it wasn't what he was going for, but accepted my view. He has no choice anyway. He explained that he didn't want to be dismissive at the beginning, but as he was taken aback, this was his initial reaction. But reflecting on it, he understands how bad it is. I also pointed out the half-butted excuses, such as we're both vegan or we have things planned. He understood, but added that since we know each other, he always mentioned hating one-night stands or meaningless spicy sleep, which is true. It doesn't help much, but at least he's nothing but consistent. I told him I didn't believe his coworker at all and thought that she was just fishing for some compliments, etc., and that she probably knew what she was doing. We will come back on that later. I told him the trust was broken and I didn't want to be paranoid every single time he's going to the office, so he promised several things, and I'll list them below. I also asked him if it was an attention issue. He thought about it, but it doesn't think it is. He says that he has enough from me and that that's all that matters. He said that he went online to try to find some clarity and help and realized what he said was completely out of line. But again, it was too late. So all he could do was work on getting back my trust every single day. He said that he tried to find why he would do this, but couldn't really find an answer. The only thing he could think of is that he's awkward socially, which is true, and that he never had a female friend before, so maybe he talked to her like he talked to any other girl, except he was pursuing all the other girls, so the convo shouldn't have been the same. I know, it's a stretch. I told him if we were going to try to work through it, it was a one-time thing, and I would not tolerate another debacle like this. And he agreed. As he and her said the department was joking like that all the time, I asked who else he was talking to like that. But he only spoke to that colleague on social media, so I cannot compare. Because the others are men, so even if he did, I doubt I would have found something. I said I was thinking about meeting the coworker, plus her husband, to talk it out. I decided not to do it because of what's next. Finally, I asked to read the whole conversation. This is where it's bad. You guys, I felt like I was reading a conversation. Nothing was okay since the beginning that they started talking, but it only came from him. Actually, the coworker looked like she was avoiding answering and would emoji laugh to avoid being rude or something. And I now don't think that she was fishing for something. That was yet another hurtful experience. I must add that he went low contact several times during the year too, and she was the one coming back like it's been a while. You don't talk to me anymore, etc. But again, she was not inappropriate. So I showed him along the way all the inappropriate messages. Some were small, others bigger. But I found around 20 inappropriate messages over the last year. The more I went on, the more he was breaking down. By the end, he was crying because he said that he just wanted to be nice and supportive, and nobody ever told him that it was inappropriate before. He looked truly pained. Anyhow, if we want to have any kind of chance to salvage the relationship, I asked what he would put in place. So he decided he won't speak to the coworker anymore, sent her a text to let her know that contact was done so she wouldn't reach out. He goes to the office twice a week. He has one day on-site mandatory, but can choose the other one, so he will go a day that she's not there. I get full access to his phone, and he gave me access to his tablet as well. He offered to put a tracker in his phone so I could see conversations live. No after works. Was already the case, but also he would never leave home late, and if it happened, he would send proof or something. We booked an appointment for couple therapy, and he will also go by himself. What is hard is when I speak with him, he seems true and genuine, so either he's honest or he's a masterclass actor, and I still have a doubt. Except that he never gave me any reason to doubt him. I can't throw the last 5 years that were good without giving him the benefit of the doubt once. By the way, it would be good if you went to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime, because you're going to find full episodes with more stories just like this one. And we do have a little bit more to the story. I also found here on Reddit posts of guys flirting who had no intention to cheat. The comments were also going like, I'd be your girlfriend, I would never believe you, etc. But OPs don't have a reason to lie here. So I guess in some rare situations, it can happen. Anyway, he said it was an electroshock and he just wanted the chance to prove to me that he's fully dedicated to the relationship and will work to gain back my trust. He said the past couple of years counted and that he hopes that I can give him a chance based on what we already lived together and the adjustments we made in order to go further. I want to give him a chance, so I will monitor the situation in the next weeks and months, and I, of course, will keep you updated on if it was a good decision or not. Any new thoughts are also welcome. I think maybe leave him. Maybe leave him because I don't like how you're being OP.
Yeah, this is a toxic, codependent relationship that, I don't know, it's not healthy for either of you.
Yeah.
Get some more evidence, play it out, get evidence, see what he's doing, and then probably, I don't know, get a little towel, put some food in it, wrap it up, get a stick, and walk on out.
My wife has full control of our finances, and it's ruining our marriage.
The women should never be in charge of the money.
In the early days of our relationship, I felt deeply in love. We moved between different countries together, traveled to 20 some odd countries and many dozens of cities. We built a family and shared years of experiences. There were challenges, but I believed in our partnership and love. I sacrificed for our family, took on jobs abroad, accepted risk, poured myself into parenting, and worked tirelessly to build a better life. By the way, this comes from Softworry8461, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. But over time, the fractures deepened. The first major blow was discovering that she had lied about a trip to Vancouver and stayed with an ex-boyfriend. Yikes! I only found out because her friend she claimed to be traveling with had no idea about the trip. It wasn't even a good lie. Later, I found phone calls to her ex at 3 a.m. The ex lived in Vancouver. It shattered something in me. She denied it for years until I caught her cheating again, this time emotionally and possibly more with a man from her hometown. I only found out because she was constantly on her phone, and I saw her sweet, caring messages to him while I was suffering from a migraine at home. I signed into her social on my laptop and read everything. I confronted her, she denied, minimized, promised to stop, and broke those promises again and again while getting sneakier hiding it. I told her to leave. Her mom, who was staying with us, found out the details, also told her to leave. Came back a day later. The kids need their mommy, she pleaded. Even after all that, I tried to stay for the kids, for the hope that we could repair what had been broken. But every time I reached out emotionally, I was met with coldness, condescension, or rejection. My interests like music were mocked or dismissed. She said she hated the guitar. She left the room when I sang. She got upset when I planned to buy myself a new used guitar for an amount that was about 5 to 6% of my monthly income. She claimed that she didn't spend money on herself except her tennis rackets, her excessive solo travel, and her leisure. I had to ask permission for simple things like buying a secondhand amp or supplements for exercise. Meanwhile, she'd spend freely and justify it as not spending much on herself. Most days, it feels like I'm doing the parenting on my own. I wake up the boys, make breakfast, get them ready, take them to school, handle homework, bedtime routines, the day in, day out of raising kids. I potty trained them, taught them to read, taught them to ride bikes. I built Legos with them, game with them, read to them. I take them for ice cream and barbecue and Friday hot chocolate at the school cafe. When they need direction or discipline, I'm the one who steps in. She's present, but more like background noise than a co-parent. She says that because she gave birth, she's already done her part. She cooks, does laundry, and takes pride in keeping our home clean, but not without assistance. I scrub pots and pans daily, set and clean the dining table, etc. I ensure the kids tidy up most of their messes, organize their library, and such. We have a dishwasher, robot vacuum mop, washer dryer, and she hires a cleaner once or twice a month for deep cleans. But I work full time and still shoulder most of the emotional labor and physical tasks of parenting. Meanwhile, she has most of the day to herself, going to yoga, dance, tennis, painting at home in her art studio room, while I grind through work and then come home to a second shift. And when she's not around, it's not just for a few hours. She's away, traveling solo for weeks at a time. 120 days without the kids and me in the last 20 months. Dude, that's like almost half of the year she's away.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, she's controlling your finances.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing nothing for the kids. So are you really even staying for the kids at this point?
Yeah.
And I'm here trying to be everything. Provider, protector, present father. I took 1 week away for myself in that same 20-month span, plus 3 work trips of 3 days each. I'm often invited to speak at conferences. During the 1 week I was away, she flew her mother down from the other side of the country to help her with the kids. I brought them along to one of my work trips for travel. I don't mind being the steady one. I love my boys deeply, but I'm tired. Not just from the load, but from the loneliness of parenting beside someone who doesn't seem to want to share the journey. I create an environment where learning, consistency, and affection go hand in hand. When she's home, it feels like a completely different household. Then split up. She usually sleeps in, lets them play on the iPad or Xbox all day if I don't make them stop, says she doesn't believe in homework, or at least not enforcing it herself. And on the few days where she has had to take them to school, she just doesn't. She allows them to miss school if she doesn't feel like handling the morning. The kids know this. If she does intervene, she gives up quickly. Today, I told the kids 15 more minutes of screen time and went to have a warm bath to soothe my back because I fractured it 2 months ago. I came out 40 minutes later. She was on the bed and the kids were still playing. Why are the boys still playing games? I asked. I don't know. I told them to stop, she replied without looking up from her phone. Her style is permissive and disengaged. It leaves me feeling like I must always be the one to discipline, structure, and uplift, often with no backup. I'm the fun one and the strict one. I seldom get breaks. There's no day off from parenting, but I take pride in the fact that I can and do handle it all. Handle it away from her.
Yeah.
Like, if you divorce her, you have the financial freedom again. She has to provide child support because she's not going to take care of the kids. And you can prove that to the court and say, hey, I want full custody of these kids because she's not here at all.
Right.
And you can show all the days that the kids have missed and been like, this is when she was supposed to take them.
Exactly.
She's
like,
not taking them to school.
Maybe like, you can call the doctor or something like that and be like, yeah, see, we didn't even call in. Like, it's not like they were sick or something.
Nope.
They were just missing the school.
They just missed.
Yeah.
And she's gone 120 days a year.
Yeah.
You probably have proof of all of this.
Yeah.
It's pointless. But I take pride in the fact that I can and do handle it all. I'm present, consistent, and fully committed to raising our sons with love and values. I don't need help. I just need her to stop undermining what I build every day. Last weekend, everything boiled over. I finally laid out the 4 main problems that have been corroding our relationship. No financial transparency or access. Several years ago, I made some poor financial decisions involving crypto and an $8,000 line of credit, which I mishandled and initially hid, damaging her trust. Not great, dude. Since then, she's insisted on full control of our finances, threatening not to bring our kids to live with me when I got an unless I agreed. For the past 4 years, I've sent her 90% of my income without any access, oversight, or knowledge of our financial situation, despite consistently being the sole earner and contributor. No intimacy or spicy connection once or twice per year for the last 7 years. Too much solo travel, unemployment, and total freedom over her time after breaking trust in the past. Why am I the only one paying for failures? Her response was dismissive and venomous. You want me to get a job, let you access the money, travel less, and have spicy sleep with you? I'd rather pass away. This is how you treat women? And then she threw a bottle across the room. Now I'm emotionally prepared for divorce. It's not a threat. It's not a bargaining chip. It's a direction. One I need to take to protect my sense of self, my emotional well-being, and my son's future stability. What I want from divorce: full legal and physical custody of our sons with visitation rights granted to her on a reasonable structured basis, i.e. whenever she wants with reasonable notice, as long as it isn't disrupting the kids' lives. I will be fully financially responsible for our sons. That includes their private school tuition, clothing, food, insurance, extracurriculars, and anything else they need. I will waive my right to child support from her. I will not pay alimony. Our financial independence must be mutual, and I'm paying for the kids. I propose we split our current finances equally, but truthfully, she can keep it all if it means peace. I can always earn more. What I can't afford anymore is the emotional cost of keeping this marriage alive. All I want is for this to be over, for her to be gone, for our home to be peaceful, for my sons to thrive in a space filled with consistency, love, and boundaries, not tension, avoidance, and apathy. I'm not seeking revenge. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just done. Am I the a-hole? And there is an update. I'm looking for a local lawyer that can handle transnational divorce. I've also been developing a paper trail, particularly in relation to my children. I am the default parent. By the way, your default should be listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Their mom has missed one of 2 PTC meetings at school last year, and I have her text saying she doesn't want to go. You can tell me about it at home later. She also missed their student-led conference last week. I asked her an hour before, and she told me, next time, tell me earlier. I'm doing laundry, which can't be done any other time. It has to be done right now.
Right. I mean, they'll get wrinkled.
And
if
I
they-
freaking bet it's just her laundry.
honestly,
I bet. Despite several messages from school and teacher, she doesn't bother to check school communications because I do it all. She's traveling again this week to see a friend in another city. Leaves tomorrow. Will be back early Wednesday to attend the school concert where my children will perform. If I hadn't told her about it, she would know. She's been oddly sweet with me lately. Suspicious. Maybe she's catching on. Probably. She probably knows that she messed up. And she's like, oh no, he's going to leave me and take all the money
yeah.
that's supplying my lifestyle.
So I'll
So
just
I
like
can travel all the time.
act the part a little bit so I
Yeah.
can get you to stay.
Don't trust her, girl. Don't. I mean,
Dang.
girl as in
OP.
man.
yeah. Yeah. It's like she wants to be like that typical 50s thing
Yeah.
where like, you know, the husband take care of the finances and the
Yeah.
woman doesn't have to work, but it's like
But she's not doing
gotta,
any
like-
of the other
yeah. You still-
50s housewife stuff either.
right, like you got to still contribute in taking care of our living, breathing children.
Yup.
My
Or
goodness.
just doing literally anything at all.
Yeah, and honestly, like that would be a really good thing to teach the kids too, like by just getting divorced with this woman. Because if she is letting them skip school and not do homework and stuff,
Yeah.
then they're learning from that.
Yeah.
But if he is like, well, this is like if they later find out, like, hey, I literally divorced your mom because she wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
You
They're
guys
like,
can't
"Oh,
get
that's
away
not
in life
okay."
with doing that. Like,
Exactly.
you know.
Folks, that's the end of that story.
Yes, it is.